I knew the moment my phone vibrated that the past hadn't truly ended as I once believed. My sister Mia's name appeared on the screen. The same sister who once loudly declared I was a lost cause as they loaded the final pieces of our furniture onto a moving truck. "Listen," she started, skipping any formality. "We require accommodation, all 6 of us, just for a couple of weeks." Her voice shook, but not with remorse, with pure expectation. They always assumed I would yield. I didn't, not after their actions. I stared at the clean wall of my apartment, the one I paid for entirely on my own, and allowed the quiet to stretch until she whispered, "Are you still there?" I was present, but not for them. I vividly recall the evening they gathered me in the main living space, their expressions tense, their words rehearsed. My mother initiated the cruel pronouncement. "We've made a decision," she declared. "We are selling the family residence. We are relocating to Barcelona. You are not coming." I stared blankly, thinking it was some kind of terrible joke. It wasn't. "We cannot manage the expense of bringing you along," my brother Liam added. "You've consistently been an extra responsibility. Extra responsibility, a weight, dead cargo, a mouth without true worth." Words honed over years of concealed bitterness, finally hurled without restriction. They departed 2 weeks later, pocketed the profits from the sale, and left me with nothing but a key to a temporary dwelling and a message. "You will manage." I did manage, just not in the way they anticipated. For years following their departure, I watched from a distance, not out of longing, but as a calculated observer. Their updates on social media revealed a predictable narrative: large grins, diminishing funds, poor judgment, failed ventures, despair. I recognized the weaknesses forming long before they felt the impact. "How is life in Europe?" I'd inquire occasionally. "Costly," they would reply. "More difficult than we imagined. We will recover." But they never did recover, because they had never learned how to stand on their own without first pushing someone else down. The moment arrived when I learned they were returning, broke, jobless, and unwelcome anywhere else. The profound betrayal I had buried came back to the surface, not as agonizing grief, but as a driving objective. I didn't scream. I didn't utter curses. I didn't pursue vengeance through disorder. I chose careful strategy. I rebuilt my life calmly, saved diligently, worked steadily, invested wisely, and moved ahead with a self-control they never possessed. I never initiated contact. I let them wonder, let them speculate, let them cling to the hope that I would still be the naive youth they cast aside. Because justice tastes better when it is delivered cold and utterly unforeseen. When they arrived back in the United States, everything was already in place. I had secured a small supplementary apartment in my name months prior, one they were unaware existed. I furnished it with only the absolute necessities: sleeping mats, a single light, scuffed walls, a failing ceiling fan. Completely lawful, completely uninviting. I knew they would seek assistance. I knew they would presume I would welcome them back. And I planned precisely how I would decline. "We just require a shelter, please," Mia pleaded. "All 6 of us, only until we regain stability." I leaned back, letting every painful memory play behind my eyes. The doors slammed, the cruel words spoken, the look in their eyes when they labeled me the liability. "I remember what you stated," I replied, my voice tranquil. Too tranquil. "You didn't want me hindering your progress." "That was years ago," she snapped. "We were under pressure." "And now I'm under pressure," I interrupted. "Why should I sustain the people who refuse to sustain me?" Silence, a heavy, panicked quiet. "We are kin," she whispered. "Kin does not discard someone like garbage," I stated. "Kin does not sell your home, your entire security, and simply walk away." I could hear her breathing rapidly, unevenly. "So is that the final word? You refuse to assist us?" "I do possess a property," I admitted. "A tiny one. 6 people will not fit." A flicker of hope ignited in her tone. "So we can—" "But I'm not offering it to you," I concluded. "I labored for my current stability. I earned it. You earned your repercussions." Her voice fractured. "You don't truly mean that." I did. I meant every single word. They spent that night in a low-cost motel they could scarcely afford. By the following morning, they were contacting other relatives. No one wished to accommodate 6 jobless adults. who brought only tales of misfortune and empty hands. Their messages became resentful, then desperate, then stopped. I did not block them. I allowed them to observe the steady, calm existence I was building without their interference. I did not need to ruin them. Life took care of that for me. All I did was refuse to soften their fall. Sometimes justice is not an explosive act. Sometimes it is pure non-participation. The ditch they dug for me became the one they ultimately crawled into themselves. I didn't push them in. I simply declined to pull them out. And as I secured my apartment door that night, solitary but liberated, I finally understood. The sweetest kind of justice is forging a life no one believed you were capable of creating, particularly the people who tried to bury you.